everyone, it's Catherine. Today's video is going to take a little break from the kind of video diarying I've been doing of like where I've been traveling and all that fun stuff, because summer is definitely about that and like exposing yourself to as much as possible since you're a little bit limited during the school year. But this video, since I'm now positioned at home, and home essentially I consider to be the Bay Area, to be the Silicon Valley, to be here, I wanted to give you a video more so exposing my thoughts, my beliefs, my values, a little bit of a more raw form since I don't always get to talk about these sort of things. Alternative titles for this video would have been Stop Glorifying LA, or Palm Trees Exist in Other Places Too. Also, if you hear the wind, I'm sorry, but also you're welcome because this is a beautiful, beautiful day and I wanted to be outside since that's not something I have the luxury of doing when I'm filming in LA. So after having spent about a week in Atlanta, having spent last summer in China, and having spent 2 years living in LA, and then the prior form of that living here in the Bay Area, I really have decided that I won't be living in LA like after college. I mean, there is a huge possibility that I will. You all know my dream job is Disney, and unless there's some compelling reason like a job position to keep me in LA, there's no reason I will be there. I mean, there are some exceptions to that, and for the most part this video is going to be a little bit more on the negative side, but I think it's important to talk about things that are problematic to you and also talk about how you can change them. I'm a huge advocate after having taken my occupational therapy class and after having exposed myself to some not so beautiful parts of life that if you are unhappy with your environment, you have the power to change it, whether it be a small aspect or a large one. So in this case, my power will be that once I graduate from college, I will be leaving LA, or at least LA proper. A few points I want to make clear. First of all, I am biased. I am a student. I don't have the scope of like living in LA as a teen or living in LA as an adult, like on my own. I mean, I live in a house, I live in a dorm and then a house, and I've experienced apartment living, and I am living around USC, which is a very specific part of LA. But I now work in Beverly Hills. I have many friends that live in the Westwood area. I've traveled all around LA because it is kind of all just one big city, no matter what the area you live in is. And I'm just not the biggest fan of it, and I wanted to come on here and say that because I think every single YouTuber you ever watch is saying, oh my god, I love LA, I'm so glad I moved here, this is the best thing ever. And like, I'm so glad they've experienced that freedom and that passion that they've developed in LA. But I want to also represent the viewpoint that you don't have to move to LA to have a great experience in your life. You can be where you are, or you can move to another area. Like, LA isn't the holy grail, and I just don't want everyone to think that this is like the #1 stop in the nation for like happiness. Like, LA is a very anxious place, kind of, for me at least, and I just wouldn't recommend that you keep glorifying it in that way, because I think we tend to glorify it because we see so much of it in movies. Like, every single movie is set in LA. I mean, even me growing up watching the Kardashians as my like guilty pleasure, Kardashians make LA look like the best thing ever, but you never see them sitting in traffic and you never see them dealing with the other factors. So now that I've kind of explained the background to this video, this rant is going to be focused on the inaccessibility of LA. LA is not an accessible place to live, except for the weather. The weather is very accessible and very lovely. #1, everything is super spread out. It's very spread out. New York is tiny and tall. LA is huge and flat. There is so much. You cannot get in your car and expect to be driving for 5 minutes anywhere. Literally anywhere. You're gonna be in the car for at least 15, if not 20, if not 45 to an hour and a half. Like, I love Southern California, like I love Santa Barbara, I love San Diego, and they're not quite like that. So it's not just like LA, like there are places that have that kind of thing, but like it's just different in LA when it's all like that. So it's just so hard to get anywhere I wanna get, and LA drivers are offensive. You were taught when you learn driving, or at least hopefully you are, to be a defensive driver, which means that you brake, you know, preemptively. You brake to be careful. LA drivers will not brake unless they're gonna crash, because if you brake, you are missing out. Like, if there's an unprotected left turn and you're trying to cross 2 to 4 lanes of traffic, if you do not go when you might get hit, you're not gonna go ever, because no one's gonna let you in. Like, it's crazy how aggressive you have to be to get anything done, versus I've never experienced really that in any other place. Obviously traffic is a huge part of this video. I just like, don't want to talk about traffic that much because it does exist in other areas. I don't have that much experience with like the difference here, but I will say that like LA's highways or freeways, you would call them, don't make any sense because there's no real point to take them unless you're driving at like 3 a.m. At least in the Bay Area, like 101 is really, really crowded, but the 280, oh my god, LA has infected me. 280 is a free, beautiful, open road. Another thing, when you're driving, which you do all the time in LA, because it's just not the most walkable unless you're in like Santa Monica or you're in like Melrose, like once you're in a little part, it's walkable then, but like, in any case, it's just so gray there. LA is so gray. It's so weird to me. Like there are some beautiful beaches, and then Griffith Park is very green, and there are some green areas, but when you are driving through Atlanta, when you're driving through Oregon or the Bay Area, you're gonna see green all over. There are beautiful trees planted on every single street, and that is what keeps me alive. I am not like a concrete jungle kind of girl. I'm like an actual jungle kind of girl where I really like that green and that life. Like I have had to like keep succulents in my room because I just miss so much of that. And palm trees are great, but like I just love that lush green environment. And to get that in LA, you have to drive all the way to Griffith. To get that in the Bay Area, you have to drive 10 minutes up Highway 92 and you're there. So that's some of it for me. I really am a nature kiddo, and like LA is not nature filled. Despite what the locals might tell you, it's just not as accessible as other places. Like yes, it has nature, but it's not like other places. LA is like such a unique place. Obviously a huge part of LA is the entertainment industry, and growing up in tech, I have a bias skewed towards tech. I will admit that. I'm skewed towards tech. I think tech is really cool because I think people in that industry aren't like savagely smart. They're very intellectual people. They're much more progressive. They're much more liberal. But they might not be as emotionally intelligent. But I feel like they're not going to take advantage of you like they would in LA. And I know it's a stereotype of LA, but I really have experienced that people are very social climby. They very much care about materialistic things. Tech people like tech not because it's like flashy, but because it functions so well. Like LA is such a place about looks and less about the function. People really care about what everyone else is doing. They care so much about what other people are posting, where other people are going. And the Bay Area, people are so consumed by their own little projects. But like I was saying, LA being the entertainment capital of the world makes a difference. Like it really does, because if you think about it, it's like the difference between like Silicon Valley is a comp sci major and LA is a cinema major. I've met some pretty egotistical cinema majors. If you have a school of cinema majors, you might know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's just magnified at USC because again, it is in the entertainment capital of the world. I'm not complaining that I'm living there because it's illuminated so much about how that works and how cool it is and all the thought processes on the artistic aspect of it. But also how people will work you to the bone for nothing, and like that exists in LA and it doesn't as much in other places. A lot of this is like just me thinking about NorCal versus SoCal, and I just love NorCal so much. I think I've sufficiently complained about enough now that you get the picture of like why I'm not the biggest fan of LA, but I will say, to LA's credit, it's a fantastic place to go to college. It is a great place to go to college. Any big city, I think, is a great place to go to college because there are so many museums. LA has the art scene so down. The Broad, LACMA, the art festivals, the flea markets, those are incredible. The amount of aesthetic people put into their restaurants and cafes, I appreciate that. I like that. You can't find that other places. The number of donut shops and ice cream places that are original and not just like Cold Stone, that's incredible, and that's only in LA, and like I love that about LA. It's so fun to explore on the weekends. It's so fun to have the beach, but then also be able to go hike. Like that's an incredible thing. And I think it's a great place to go to school. I am so privileged, I am so lucky, I am so grateful I go to school in LA. Okay, I'm not, making anything up about that. Like I truly, truly do love going to school in LA, and I really encourage it because there are so many colleges in that area. If you're a potential employer watching this, like, wow, I was thinking about, hiring Catherine for my amazing job opportunity in LA, and now she's just, pooping on LA so much, I don't know if I want to hire her. Think twice, because I will live in LA if I get an amazing job opportunity. I just don't think I would live anywhere near anything. I think I would end up moving north. I think I would move past Silver Lake to the Pasadena area, maybe Glendale, around those sort of areas. First of all, there's a Costco there. That's pretty much my base measure of how livable a city is, if there's a Costco there. There's also an IKEA in Burbank, so just like those are my two rates of like how accessible it is, and I just like those areas more. There's more green. It's just easier there. I don't know why. I just like it. I just like it better there. I like the Huntington Garden. There's just a little more nature there. I don't know. Something about that. I don't really have a good explanation for that, but if I had to live in LA, I would live there, or potentially... No, yeah, I really think I would end up living in that area. Alternatively, if I had to live in SoCal, Santa Barbara's a great option. Don't know what companies are there. And San Diego would be like the holy grail for me. I would love to live in San Diego. And I love having the proximity to Disneyland. So there are some wonderfully positive things about LA. And I would recommend, like, if you want to check this place out, like, do it for a couple of years. Have to finish this on my phone. But like I was saying, if you want to try living here, go for it. Go for it for a year or two, maybe 3, 4 max. Try it out, see how you like it. Sign a lease, but not more than like a 1 or 2 year lease, because you never know what area of LA won't be your fit, and try it. It's a really cool place to live. There's so much going on here. There's so much to do on the weekends. It's really, really cool. But I don't think I'll be here long term. So if you're looking to meet me, don't plan to come to LA, because I won't be here for too long unless I get a really cool job opportunity. So if you want to keep me in LA, if you want to keep me locally in there, find a job for me, preferably in the marketing, anything to do with Disney I'm enchanted with. Pixar would be cool too, but that'd be in the Bay Area. Anything is welcome. I swear to God, just, yeah, those are my thoughts. Sorry that I had to switch this out and it was so disjointed, but I never have a good time to film about LA. There's never a time where I have all my thoughts coherent and pieced together, but that's what I can put together for you. If you hated the negativity, there's not going to be much more negativity. I might post about this on my main channel, but it'll be much more of like a comedic, funny video just about my struggles with LA. But yeah, if you want to see what there is to do in LA and what I love about LA, keep watching my vlogs, subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends that are living in LA, or share it with your friends that are moving here so they can get a glimpse of like what I do on the weekends. All of my summer vlogs are in a playlist linked below, and that's what you can check out. So I'm going to end this on a positive note that I love going to college there and I love exploring on the weekends now, but those are my overall thoughts. So I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and Cather out.